G'day, and welcome to the first lesson in this course on shoemaking. So in this course we're going to be making a pair of derbies, which is this style. They are pretty much the most basic style of shoe, and if you learn how to make this, you can make nearly anything. You make big tall boots, you can make fancy formal dress shoes, you can make nearly anything. So we're going to start with this because it's simple, basic, but it's very versatile. So the first lesson is going to be in pattern making. So you'll need a shoe last, masking tape, a pencil, and grab a shoe that you like the look of and that you can copy the important parts of. It's just easier to do it this way rather than starting from scratch, because when you start from scratch it's so easy to make little mistakes, and it's much easier to just start with one that you know is good. So grab all those things and let's get started. So what we're doing now is basically covering the last in masking tape, and then you're going to draw on your design, cut it off, flatten it out, and make your pattern pieces out of that. So the first thing you want to do, so you start with masking tape that's somewhere between, I don't know, 3/4 and an inch wide. And you want to put a line right down the front. Right, now you want to cut them all off there. Don't worry about it sticking over like that, we'll cut it off later. So one down the front, put one either side. Now, in order to get the flat tape around the complex shape, you just have to stretch a little and get a bit creative. Cool. So that is our front strip. I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Cool. Now we've got front and back done, we can start along the side. So this will take a while, but you'll get it pretty quickly. So start in the middle, and I'm just going to follow that bottom edge. Stop at the end strap. So from there, you're going to keep doing that all the way up, and you want to cover, let's say, 50% of the previous line. Now, when you transition from the side here upwards, it won't want to sit flat. So don't worry about that. As long as you've got a fairly even coverage with the tape, it'll be fine. You're going to want to stop right at the top here. There's no point going higher than that. I think. That'll do. So now you want to do the same on the other side. And then once the other side's done, you're going to do the vertical. So it's the same as before. where you're going top to bottom, bottom to top, doesn't matter, as long as you cover everything. And same idea, cover about 50%. Just bend and move the tape to fit the last. Alrighty, so that took a little while, and yeah, you'll do the other side as well. That's the gist of it. So once you've got that, then we can move on to designing your shoe. So we have our shoe last, it's completely covered in tape. You'll want to do one last strip down there and down the end here, and then trim off all this excess. So the easiest way to do that is take a rough file and do that. So you go around, do all of that. Make sure you're pushing inwards so you don't end up pulling it outwards, which would destroy the part that you need. Once you've done the bottom, then you clean up the top. So I've got a fair bit of excess on here, so I will trim it off like so, particularly on this side. And as for this bit where it's unsupported, I'll use scissors and kind of cut a line between this part of the last and this part of the last. Now that you've got everything trimmed, get a pencil and draw a line right down the middle of the front of the shoe. So you're doing that because you're going to split this tape in half and form a left and a right. And so you got to get that line pretty much bang on the middle. It's a bit difficult because a foot isn't symmetrical, but you want to get as close as you can. Do the same on the heel. Right, you're now ready to start designing.